huge savings on new and previously leased furnishings. That's right, huge savings. At Court Furniture Clearance Center, choose from our wide variety of new and previously leased furniture and decor for your home or office. You'll find sofas from $199.99 and more. Everything in our 9,000 square foot showroom is Court certified, guaranteed, and in stock, ready for delivery or to take home today. Visit our Chantilly Court Furniture Clearance Center at 13946 Lee Jackson Memorial Highway or go online at courtclearancefurniture.com. Mention Radio 20 and get 20% off.
Blog Talk Radio.
Unmarket Your Business, the podcast, born out of the need to share strategies and techniques that really work to market your business. Think yellow page ads and cold calls are your only choices? That's so last century. You're about to learn tested, tried and true marketing techniques you can apply and master, ones that feel authentic instead of salesy, strategies that are true to who you are and how you want to present yourself to your ideal clients. Let's join our host, Carol Joyce Dunlop, in the studio now and allow business success to move forward. Hey, everyone. This is Carol Dunlop, your host of the Unmarket Your Business podcast. How are you doing today? I hope you are awesome. First, I wanted to say that my heart and my prayers go out to everyone that has been affected by by Hurricane Irma, by Hurricane Harvey, and I know we have a new one coming up, so we are just having a heck of a hurricane season here. Now, Irma affects my family more than others because my husband is from the U.S. Virgin Islands, and they really got a lot of destruction going on there. So, again, my heart and my prayers go out to them. Everyone, please stay safe and get to a place where you are safe. Now, back here, I don't know how it's going to affect Atlanta, but I know it's cold outside and unseasonably cold for us here. We're usually like 90-something, 100-something degrees, and we're at 50 or 56, maybe even the lower 60s. I'm not complaining about that because I really like it, but I know it's because of the hurricane just stirring up stuff. So we are in a brand new month, the month of September, where it's going to get cooler anyway, heading into fall and the end of the year. How has your year been? My year has been phenomenal. I have to say, it's really, really and truly, I've been blessed, and it's been phenomenal, and I loved every second, the good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful, the awesome. I hope you feel the same way. If you are listening now and you would like to call in and speak, use this number, 323-642-1701, 323-642-1701. Now, as you know, every month is dedicated to a chapter in my upcoming book, excuse me, Unmarket Your Business, 10 Ways for Savvy Entrepreneurs to Stand Out, Stop Struggling, and Start Profiting. So this month is no different. This month of September is dedicated to the chapter Trending for Dollars. And if you don't know what Trending for Dollars means, that means that you hook onto the trends that are going on right now in the world. I'm going to tell you all the secrets about it in just a little bit. And you inject your business, your brand, your information into it, and you ride that wave all the way to the bank sometimes. Now, you may have heard the term Newsjacking. That's kind of what it is. I'll explain a little bit more about Newsjacking, but in my book, I'm calling it Trending for Dollars. What that means is that you are actually using the trends that are out there right now, and the trends are what everybody is talking about. You know, the stuff that you're talking about at work, or when you go to your networking meeting, or on social media, or your Facebook groups, your Google communities, whatever you have, whoever you're speaking to another person, and the first thing out of their mouth is, did you see blah, 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 or did you hear about this? Or maybe the first thing you do when you turn on your computer in the morning and your news site comes up and all it's talking about is this. And it was so funny because I have some things I want to share with you about where you can find your trends. And I was going to put news, like the news agencies, but if you're waiting for the news to come on TV, you may be a bit behind, because I've known several of the news stories that they have out, you know, as of the last year or so have been quite a bit behind some of the things that you can find online. So online is your way to know exactly what the trends are, what's going on, who's talking about what, who's doing what, and all that. And a lot of times the things will come from the, so to speak, the horse's mouth. Like if they're talking about a star or something's going on, usually they've already tweeted about it, or, you know, they're trying to stop a tweet from going out. So let's talk about trends. What are the trends, and how do you know how can you find them? So there are, what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 ways that you can know what the trends are. And how I found out about this was several years ago. Like, I think right after I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2011, I worked for dietsandreview.com, and that is a website that actually looks at the different diets, and that's what they did before. They looked at the different diets and they compared them to let you know if they were healthy or, you know, leave them alone or whatever. And how Brandy, the one who ran I think she still runs it now, how they did it was she would go online every morning and look at the celebrities that were in the news and see what diets they were using or what diets they were talking about or who was talking about what person, and if they had lost weight or gained weight or whatever, and what they had used to do that. And she would write about it, or she would assign it to different people on the staff to write about it. And I worked for them for a few months during the beginning of 2011, and I learned so much. The main thing that I learned was that I am not a writer like that. I mean, I can write, and I write blog posts and Facebook posts and all that stuff, but to be, you know, a writer where that's all you do every day, all day, every day, no, that was not me. So that was that was something that I found out that was not my true calling, so I left that quite alone. But I was very grateful for the experience, and for the experience of learning where to find out what's going on. And what did we do? We went to Google. Or we went in the search engines and we searched for, you know, what were the trending topics of the day, the month, the hour, the year, what was going on, who was in the news, and we tried to relate that back to what was going on in the dieting industry, in the weight loss industry, and how we could pair that up and make a story out of it. And that's really how Diets and Review got their start. That's how they became the powerhouse that they were then, and I think they are now. I'm not sure, you know. Things change in since 2011, that's about 6 years ago, so things do change, but I'm thinking that they're still on top of things. But anyway, the places that you can go to find out the trends or what's trending, you can, of course, go to Google. Google is the mother, father, grandmother, grandfather of all things searchable, so you need to go there and find out. You know, Google is number 1, and then YouTube is the number 2 search engine, so either one of those two things, if it's going on, if Google is listing it, and they're probably most likely listing something that's going on YouTube, then you know that is a trending topic. And that will be something for you to look at to see how you can insert your business, your brand, your ideas into. Also, Twitter. Go to twitter.com and look up what are people tweeting about. And you also, when you go to your Twitter account on the left-hand side, it'll show you what's trending on Twitter. It used to be in the news all the time. What's trending on Twitter is now not so much. I mean, they mention it every now and then, but they don't mention it as much as they used to. One of the big things that's come up with the trends is Facebook. I mean, since Facebook has over 2 billion with a B people who are users there, they've outranked Twitter as far as the trends and stuff. Even though people can have their privacy settings on and all that stuff, a lot of people don't, or a lot of people have only certain privacy settings on. But the big brands and stuff are there, and their pages, so they're sending out news and all that. You can also do Reddit.com, Reddit.com. Now, Reddit was huge when social media first became like really big, and people would go to Reddit and get information and put information there, and then it kind of dipped down for a little bit. But now it's got like a cult following, and there are a lot of people who use Reddit. Actually, they are the ones who started the Ask Me Anything, which I will be on coming up soon. I haven't got all the dates and stuff ready for my book tour, but that is one of the definitely want to go to, hang out on, and submit and ask me anything. So definitely want to look out for that. I'm going to have one other place, news.ycombinator.com, and it's called Hacker News, but it's news.ycombinator.com. It has a lot of the trends. And then finally, this This one is a combination of watching your TV screen and actually going online and seeing what they have on their sites, and that's talk shows. And I actually learned about using this as a way of finding out what's trending or what's the hot topic when I was doing my optimum body sculpting. Excuse me, when I was doing my optimum body sculpting business, and I started following this young lady. Her name was Keisha. Gosh, I can't remember her name right now. I know it's going to come back to me. And she was saying that was one of the ways that she built her blog up to so big that she sold it for like $10,000. And she went to all the talk shows, all the top talk shows at the time, and she saw what they were talking about. And then right when they aired the episode, she would go write about it. Now, the thing about the talk shows is sometimes they have reruns. They don't run all year. You know, they have to take a break because of the unions and stuff. So you need to catch the live ones when they're on live. And then you go to if they're in reruns, then you go to their website and see what they're talking about. And I have made quite a lot of strides with using them, depending on what they were talking about and what they were saying. Because used to be they used to quote Dr. Oz all the time. Dr. Oz says this and Dr. Oz says that. So that was really good for my optimum body sculpting business, because if Dr. Oz said it was good and I could quote him or see where it was like he was saying this, then I could put that information out there. Not quite so much now, but I'm really into business stuff and helping your business grow. So it's a totally different audience now, even though my audience members still care. I know you still care about your body and staying in shape and all that. It's just not it's not my business focus. So you have to find out who holds the news for your business focus. Is it the Wall Street Journal? And I know they have an online companion. Is it your local trade journal? Is it an industry professional? Find out who holds the key to all the trends that are going on, where your ideal, perfect target audience looks. And if they look on these places and they're finding the information, or they go to these places to find the information, then you can go and see what's trending. And then the next step is to see how you can insert your business, your brand, your ideas into that and ride that wave. Now, remember I said that this was called Newsjacking. Newsjacking is a relatively new term. It's only been around for a couple of years, and a lot of people don't even know what it means. But basically, newsjacking is the art and science of injecting your ideas into a breaking news story and generating tons of media coverage and social media engagement. So this is the ability for you to recognize when something is, boom, it's a story right now, or it will be a story, or it is a big story. If it is a story, or it will be a story, or it's getting to that point where it's going to be huge, then you need to figure out a way to insert yourself into it. Now, I was on GetSpokal, GetSpokal.com, and they were saying that Oreo was the one that actually started this whole thing. They said during a blackout in the Super Bowl of 2013, Oreo tweeted, "Power out, no problem. You can still dunk in the dark." That got 13,000 or almost 14,000 retweets, and almost 5,000 people favorited that thing. So the marketing team took a bad situation and made light of it with an amusing image and well-timed message. So even though you didn't have even though your lights are out and all that stuff, you can still dunk. You can still dunk in the dark. I thought that was really, really cool. So that was an excellent example of newsjacking. But you got to be careful when you're trying to do that, because you have to know that even if the story is right on time right now and everybody's talking about it, they're not going to be talking about it forever. So there's a graphic on there on Spokal where it says that you have a very limited time to get your information out there, especially if it's breaking news. There's kind of like a curve that it goes through, because first the news breaks. Then when it's going up that hill to public excitement growing, and before it hits that peak, that's when you need to insert your information there. Because when it hits the peak, and we never know, that could be an hour, that could be 10 minutes, that could be a couple of weeks, that could be a couple of months, then the news is going to be old news, and then it's going to be done. So no one knows exactly how long it's going to last. So you need to get your information together. When you find something, oh, this is hot, this is, everybody's talking about this right now, then you need to think critically about how you can insert your information, your brand, your business into that story. And don't be cheesy with it. Like right now, the big stories right now are the hurricanes, of course, and people are, they're losing their homes, everything's underwater, there's devastation everywhere, people are actually losing their life. So this would not be a good time to make a joke about something crazy, something so serious like that. But if you are a person that has a life jackets or something like that, maybe you want to, put your life jackets on sale or something. That's not really newsjacking, but at least, you just can't make light of a serious subject. I remember a few years ago, Sandy Krakowski, who has she might have like 2 million. At that time, she had about 1 million likes on Facebook. She might have about 2 million now. Remember when that big jet airliner disappeared out of, was it Korea? I can't remember. It was one of those nations over there in Asia. That jet airline just disappeared. Nobody even knew where it was. Well, the same day that it disappeared, she had this tweet that was automatically posted, and it was showing a plane, and it was talking about there'll be a brighter day or some, uplifting message or something. And she said on her Facebook page, "Oh my God, I didn't even, I had no idea this was going to happen, and I'm really sorry." And people were like urging her, "Take it down, take it down, take it down." I don't know if she took it down or not, but it was just one of those things that just so happened to happen at the same time as this tragic event. And there have been also examples of, people really going wrong with the thing and doing stuff really bad. So I was talking about maybe if you're you're off on a boat or something. There is an example of a bad newsjacking story where Sears, when Hurricane Sandy had hit the East Coast, it said, Sears said, "Did Hurricane Sandy affect your city? Get your generators, air mattresses, and more in one place." So the thing was that it wasn't bad, right? But they were saying it's not great for a brand image to be seen benefiting from those less fortunate. So you really have to be careful, especially if you're putting a sale up, hurricanes and stuff now, and you're putting a sale up about things. You have to, what would have been a better message is to say, like, my heart and prayers go out to the people that are affected by Hurricane Sandy or something like that. Because people, when they see Sears, they're going to know who you are anyway. If they look on your Facebook page, they're going to know what you're doing. So offering messages of encouragement and things like that. I was trying to see if I saw anything else. All right. I'm going to remember. Oh, my goodness. All right. So this is from SpaghettiOs. And it was Pearl Harbor Day, and it was like, take a moment to remember Pearl Harbor with us. And they posted this on Twitter. But that really isn't a good way for SpaghettiOs to have a little spaghetti or hold an American flag and think about this devastating event. Even though Pearl Harbor was like over, 50-something years ago, can you imagine them doing something like that with 9/11, because that's closer to home? So you have to think about things like that, You always want your brand or your business to be in the best light. So be careful, do some critical thinking, see how you can make light of the situation if it's not a serious, crazy situation like that, but, just use your own kind of peace of mind. But the main thing is to just be on the lookout for ways that you can insert your brand or your business or your idea into the trending topics. Now, you don't have to insert it into every trend that's out there. Some things you probably don't want to be associated with anyway. But if it's something that's really high-powered, it's really out there, and you could benefit from it, then why not? There was a situation that I was a part of. It was a couple of years ago. I remember when Barbie Christina was in hospice, and she had been moved there because she was there was a hope of her recovering. And I had met this young lady at a party, and she was saying everybody thinks that hospice is where you go to die. But actually, hospice is a place hospice actually takes care of chronically ill people. You know, you don't have to think about this is your last place you're going to go or you're going to die. It can take care of you if you're chronically ill. And I was telling her, like, wow, I had no idea. And she should be putting out some stories about that, because she was asking me how could she put some information out there about hospice and, you know, let people know that her hospice was around, was available, and was ready to help. And I was like, educate people on what hospice really is. And it doesn't have to be your last stand. It doesn't have to be, you know, a place you take your last breath. It can be, you know, ever since then I've been really, I guess, noticing how people have used hospice. A friend of mine that we worked together several years ago, she has put her grandmother in the hospice, and it was because she wasn't eating, and she needed to actually, you know, get some sustenance in her body. So she did. She went to hospice. She only stayed there a couple of months, and then she was able to come back home, and that was great. So you just never know when you have the ability to educate someone about what's going on, especially if something is in the news and it's, you know, it's a totally crazy idea and people are getting all the wrong information about it, and you can shed some light on it in a way that makes people think like, never thought of that, makes you look in a good light, and it does not showcase your brand in a bad way. You have to think about that too. Like I said, every trending thing you may not want to be a part of, but some things, yeah. And you want to do it in a strategic way so that people know, okay, this is the story that's out there. This is the hot information everybody's wanting to get a hold of. But, hey, look at it a different way. I'm bringing you a different angle to this. I'm showing you a different light on this. And this is how my brand thinks about it. Or this is what my brand does with that. Or this is how we think about that. You know, maybe it's a different opinion. Maybe it's a different light. Maybe it's something funny. Maybe you're lending your voice to the story, and your voice kind of rounds the whole story out. So you just never know. So like I said, be careful. But look for trends all the time. Keep your ears and your eyes open. You never, ever know what's going to happen, especially with celebrities. Celebrities are always, you know, they're always doing something, so you could look at them and see what they're up to and see if you can relate it to your business in some kind of way. Maybe, you know, I love American Greed, for instance, and I know there was a story about Eddie Murphy's wife when she got conned by this guy who was actually a friend of hers, and she wound up losing like $11 million of her settlement from when her and Eddie divorced, and that would have been a good time if you were a financial planner or anything with helping divorced women, or you were somewhat a mindset coach, or someone who helps people to get over tragic situations, to make a blog post article or something like that saying, you know, she was, you know, scammed by this, how awful, but for those of you who may find yourself in this situation, you could do this, 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 and this. So the fact that you're bringing up the news story and you're kind of hitching your information onto it, but you're shedding a different light. You're saying, oh, so sorry this happened. You know, it can happen at any time to anybody. You know, we're all human. But in the future, if you would do this, this, and this, you may be able to avoid this, that type of thing. So if you look at it like that, or maybe like when we had that big financial crisis, you know, what was it, 2008, 2009, and everybody, you know, all the banks were going under, people were losing their homes and all of that. The people who were dealing with foreclosed homes had a big resurgence because they had all these houses that they just couldn't move. Nobody had the money. People were just walking away from homes because they were, you know, underwater in them and stuff. So they couldn't make any money. So this was a great time if you were in the real estate industry or in the marketing industry to take something bad and make it into something good. You know, nobody could have forecasted. Well, the people that were doing it, they knew what was going on, but none of the regular people couldn't have forecasted that this would have happened, especially in the United States where, you know, you can just have anything you want anytime you want it. So now, you know, that was a good time for someone who was talking about, you know, prepare for the future, prepare for the worst, Make sure you save your money. Again, how do you deal with a bad situation, make it into a good situation? How do you get back to family? Those types of things. You could cite that information as the source of the story, and then you put your spin on it and you put it out there. You blog about it. So, that's how they do it. That's how you ride that trend all the way to the bank. Because what happens, and you might say, well, Carol, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to put this story out there? Because you're trying to get attention. That's the main thing. You're trying to get attention for you and what you do. That's why you're hooking on. That's why you're newsjacking. That's why you're hooking on to that story. You want people to pay attention to you, pay attention to what you do, pay attention to your business, and say, oh, that was the story. But, hey, this person offered this very good piece of advice here. Wow. Let me see what they're doing. And then what do? They go to your website. They look at your information, they get on your newsletter list, and they start, engaging with you on social media, and they find out more about you. So that's basically what you're doing. You're trying to get people to notice you, and that's what I talk about in the book. I talk about 10 ways for savvy entrepreneurs to stand out, stop struggling, and start profiting. So trending for dollars is definitely a way for you to stand out, stop that struggling, and really start profiting by using the information or the stories that are already out there. People already have their eyes and ears peeled for this information that's out there, but now you're giving them a new slant, something funny, something different. You're putting you in there. So another way that you can actually using what's out there and in the trends, is I have a workshop that's coming up, and I was looking for something's going on with I can't access it right now for some reason. I don't know why, but it's website magic workshop.eventbrite.com. So if you go there, that is a workshop. Remember, I was telling you about the Website Magic blog challenge that we had. It was a 10-day free challenge, and now our big announcement is that Nadine Mullings and we are actually putting on a workshop here locally in Atlanta on Tuesday, September the 19th from 10 to 2, and we're only opening up 5 spots. So if you go to websitemagicchallenge.eventbrite.com. You can get the information about the workshop. If you are in the Atlanta area or if you want to just fly in, we'd love to have you here. We'd love to have you there. And what we're going to be doing is in the challenge, we showed you 10 ways how you can get more clients, get more traffic to your website, and make more money from the clients that come to your website and actually buy from you. So now, we went over kind of the overview of that, the things you need to do, but we're talking about taking action now. So what we're doing now is we are actually showing you how to do it. Now, we showed you how. We told you what you needed to do. We said, you need to do this, you do that, but now we're going to work with you one-on-one to help you actually put these strategic plans into place. We're actually going to feed you, and you'll walk away with 2 strategic plans, one for your website to get your website noticed, for your website to be able to bring in your ideal perfect clients and close them, and then another strategic plan for your blog so you'll know what to blog when, what kind of blog you're going to put up there, and what kind of blog is going to attract and hold those clients so that they will want to work with you and will actually open up their little virtual wallets and pay you for your brilliance and your expertise. So it's websitemagicchallenge.eventbrite.com. Now, for some reason, that is not going through because I don't know why, but I cannot access that link right now. Just please go to csicorporation.com and message me and say, Carol, what was that link again? I will send it out to you because we only have a couple more weeks. It's about 2 weeks from now, and I definitely want you to be there. That is all that I have today for Trending for Dollars, how to ride the trends to the bank. So the rest of this month, I'm going to be having some guests on. They're going to talk about how they're using trends in their business to make some dollars, to make some bank. How about that? So please join me each Thursday going forward for the rest of this month, and we're going to talk about trending for dollars and how that works. So you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next Thursday. Thanks for listening. We truly appreciate it. For information about guests, products, or services that were mentioned in this episode, log on to our website at www.csicorporation.com/unmarketing. To learn more, get a glimpse of our upcoming schedule, and join the unmarketing nation of entrepreneurs who are using marketing techniques that work right now. Until next time, keep moving forward.